This is Barry Zalma on insurance. I'm an attorney who is retired from the practice of law and now spend my time as an insurance claims consultant and expert witness and producer of these videos. Today I'd like to continue with construction defects. And these are the types of things that any insurance claims person and any insurer that insures against the risks of loss due to construction defect must understand. Adding to the list are stucco defects. Traditional stucco is sometimes referred to as cement stucco, but it is a siding material that is made of cement, sand, lime, and water. The traditional cement stucco system is durable because it covers a structure with a layer of rock by using a fine-grained concrete, and it's attached to a structure using a waterproof barrier, paper, galvanized wire mesh, and metal flashings. Cement stucco can achieve compressive strengths in excess of 3,000 pounds per square inch. Ladders, baseballs, and rocks will rarely dent it. Cement stucco is rigid and can crack if the wood framing beneath it shrinks or if a foundation shifts. Just because there is a crack in stucco does not mean it is defective. To determine whether a crack is just the result of the natural stiffness of concrete and settlement or expansion of the soil on which the structure rests takes the assistance of an expert, such as a structural engineer. Uncoated cement stucco should allow water to freely pass through it. Traditional stucco is defective if installed so that water can enter a building but cannot escape. A structure with cement stucco should have a weather-tight barrier to wind-driven rain, snow, and ice if installed properly. Deterioration of stucco is often caused by insufficient finishes or materials, that is, porous stucco materials in rainforest areas. When experts refer to defective stucco, they are usually referring to exterior insulation and finishing systems, or EIFS, a synthetic stucco product applied to the exterior sides of residential and commercial structures. EIFS consists of a cosmetic outer layer applied to a plastic coating, the finish, on top of a base coat affixed to a foam panel, the insulation. The entire system is applied directly to the structure's frame. EIFS is different from traditional stucco in that traditional stucco is as hard as the concrete it is made from and can breathe, allowing any trapped moisture to escape. Traditional stucco has drainage channels to get rid of any moisture that penetrates the surface. EIFS, however, does not allow trapped moisture to escape the wall cavity. The failure to allow trapped moisture to escape has been identified as the flaw in EIFS and claims that it is a defective product. Once moisture is inside EIFS walls, it can encourage the growth of mold or fungi that can rot the wood structure of a building and can also lead to termite, ant, or other insect infestations. Water can penetrate EIFS through any of the following. 1. Joints where EIFS meets other kinds of materials such as windows, light fixtures, or chimneys. Improperly sealed joints. 3. Wicking from the ground up. Or 4. small cracks or holes in the relatively delicate skin of the EIFS system. An insured contractor who installs defective stucco is not entitled to recover any costs of putting on a new coat of stucco over the old one from its insurer. Insurance policies are not intended to protect the insured if the insured's product or work later proves to be defective or causes an accident that requires repairs or replacement. Insurance coverage will, however, cover unexpected, unforeseen, or undesigned events or consequences. That is, it will always cover a fortuitous loss if not excluded. Heating, air conditioning, and ventilation, that is HVAC, and humidity control systems must be installed properly to avoid water intrusion. The structure must allow for proper ventilation, including adequate crawl spaces, exhaust fans, and dehumidifiers. Air conditioning must also be of sufficient size to perform well. When a seller conceals dangerous defects in an air conditioning system, such as a serious fire hazard, even if a buyer makes no effort to inspect the product, the seller can be found liable. Where a plaintiff's home burned along with all possessions because of a defect in an air conditioning unit recently purchased and installed, the plaintiff suffered property damage but no personal injury. The court allowed the plaintiff to recover for damage to her real property, but not for bodily injury or personal injuries that she claimed. Similarly, if an air conditioning unit leaks water and causes damage without harming the plaintiff's health, the court would limit damages to the property damage. If in an example of water intrusion from a defective air conditioner or defective installation of air conditioning, Irwin v. Eagle Star, a Fifth Circuit decision from 1972, found that defective installation caused a vessel to sink while at the dock. One of the parts in the piping of the air conditioning system broke within approximately 6 months of its installation by an independent air conditioning firm. The defective part allowed an excess of water to flow in. Similarly, in a dwelling, a defective air conditioning installation could allow water to flow into a home or the soil around a home, causing total destruction. In New York, Vigilant, the installer of an HVAC system, had its motion for summary judgment dismissing the breach of performance bond claim because there was no evidence in the record supporting the plaintiff's contention that Centrifugal defaulted under its contract with another party, or that it caused or created the allegedly defective HVAC systems and units. Plaintiff certified that Centrifugal's installation of the HVAC units was done according to its specifications. Then there are window, wall, and door defects that leave a home or structure particularly vulnerable to water intrusion, as these are integral to making the structure watertight. Leaking windows are a common defect, and prevention requires good workmanship. Insufficient doors, windows, or glass that allow water to intrude into the structure can be caused by the following. 1. Neglecting to install moisture barriers at the foundation or walls. 2. Using inadequate flashing. 3. Neglecting to use sheet metal drip edge above window headers. 4. Improperly applying building paper. 5. Neglecting to install break-resistant glass. 6. Rough framing was not being flush with the outside at the opening. 7. Using a bent window or door frame. 8. Using single pane glass where double pane is required. And or 8. Neglecting to install proper weather stripping for doors and windows. Homeowners in Alabama discovered that certain windows, including a French door, had broken seals 6 to 9 months after moving into their new residence. The plaintiff's architect prepared a list of problems with the French doors in the house, and since the defects were latent and not reasonably discoverable by the owners, a suit against the developers for defective construction was allowed in Dickinson versus Land Developers, a 2003 decision of the Alabama Supreme Court. Now, other problems that are almost always included in construction defect cases are defects in concrete and foundations. For example, plaintiffs in California alleged damages were suffered from intrusion of water, insects, and dirt through a cracked foundation, cracked stucco on exterior walls, and racking and twisting of window frames, which then leaked. In addition, the plaintiffs alleged that deformation of floor coverings, general weakness of the entire foundation, and bodily injuries and emotional distress because of the defective materials used in the slab-on-grade foundations. In this case, manufacturers were found liable under strict product liability, and the court stated, quote, "Strict products liability attaches to all persons in the chain of distribution of a defective product, including a product which is a component of another product in a mass-produced home, that is, manufacturers, wholesalers, suppliers, and retailers. The imposition of strict products liability on one person in the distributive chain does not relieve other persons in the chain from liability. We conclude that manufacturers of non-versatile, single-purpose products used and incorporated in mass-produced homes are subject to strict products liability to the ultimate consumer." This was Acosta versus Synthetic Industries, a 2001 decision of the California Court of Appeal. Now then, there are defects in the building envelope, which works much like human skin to protect the interior from the exterior environment. Unfortunately, the envelope of a building does not have the self-healing and continuous regeneration characteristics of the human body, so any mechanical damage or deterioration due to normal wear and tear creates repair requirements. Repair is usually the responsibility of the owner of the structure or the owner's appointed manager. Controlling moisture helps to control mold growth and other deterioration in wall assemblies, yet a completely airtight building will also have problems. The risk of moisture problems increased when designers began constructing structures with an airtight building envelope, because mold growth, decay, corrosion, loss of insulation value, and indoor air quality problems can all occur due to air leakage and condensation. Airtight construction, on the other hand, is less capable of drying than air-porous construction in the event of water leakage or other unforeseen circumstances that cause water to enter a wall assembly. Air leakage is a significant potential source of condensation and moisture accumulation in building envelope assemblies, Water vapor diffusion is much less significant potential source of moisture than once thought, although the water can still cause a problem. Building envelope deficiencies may be located in concealed portions of the roof, wall, or floor systems. They can take a long time to become noticeable. Building envelope deficiencies may be caused by the original design or construction inadequacies or omissions. Diagnosis and correction of concealed deficiencies may involve costs for testing and reconstruction that voluntarily no party is willing to bear. It's reported that 90% of moisture intrusion problems occur within 1% of the total building surface. Failure of a building envelope can cause water intrusion into a wall, creating indoor air quality problems. Interior moisture accumulation can also be caused by building envelope defects. Moisture and air quality problems can implicate any or all of the major parties involved in construction, such as the owner, the builder, or the design professionals. Water in walls caused by a building envelope failure may not readily dry and could cause damage to the structure and its contents. A fluid-applied air and moisture barrier effectively resists water penetration for up to 75 minutes when subjected to water spray equivalent to 8 inches of rainfall within an hour by an approximate 50-mile-an-hour wind. These barriers have the ability to allow water vapor to pass through materials yet keep damaging moisture from penetrating the sheathing. This video was adapted from my book, Construction Defect and Insurance, Volume 2, which is available as both a Kindle book and a paperback from Amazon.com. If you found this video to be useful and educational to you or your colleagues, please pass it on. It's free. And please also subscribe to my Rumble channel, my YouTube channel, and my blog so that you can be advised of future videos and future blog postings. Thank you for your attention.